Growing up, I was always ashamed of being a Sonic fan. Not in the way that you would think in terms of like being a fan amongst the community, like the toxic side of the community. I'm talking about simply just being like bullied for my love for Sonic. See, I've talked multiple times on this channel about how Sonic has saved me from my unstable childhood and how Sonic has raised me. And as a byproduct of that, you start to base yourself around that franchise, right? You'll start talking about Sonic a lot. You'll start imagining yourself in the world of Sonic amongst your favorite characters. You know, to some people that may seem kind of weird, but that's how passionate I was about this series and still am to this day. You know, I remember when I was a kid, I used to like kind of imagine myself being amongst characters like, I don't know, Shadow or Amy, and obviously Sonic, or Blaze the Cat, my favorite character in the series. As a kid, I just envisioned myself in their world because I couldn't see myself existing in any other plane. That's how deep the franchise runs for me. When I was going to school back then, I could never express my love for the series because either nobody was a Sonic fan or people who were a fan of video games, they just said, why do you like Sonic? The franchise is terrible. Why do you like it? And, you know, I know a lot of Sonic fans could relate to this because Sonic has been in a very peculiar spot within the gaming industry. You know, Sonic has some very rough outings with the video games, but the gaming industry has kind of left the franchise behind for years, right? The gaming industry matures, the gaming industry evolves, and other studios and other genres start finding their respective audience, and then platformers in general were kind of left in the dust. But with Sonic being the second most popular platformer of all time, how in the world can people just not like Sonic? That's what I thought when I was a kid. So as people were playing different games, I was sitting there playing Sonic games and I got bullied for it. I couldn't even express how much I love the series. And it hurt because I felt like I had to downplay my passion. I had to downplay it. Anytime I would walk around my friends or walk around my family, you still like Sonic? I'm like, no, I don't like Sonic. You're tripping. You're tripping. You're tweaking. I do not like Sonic. But I said that as a defense mechanism. I said that as a person who was scared to get ridiculed for loving something. And in turn, that messed with me a lot mentally because that trickled into other aspects of my life. You know, that trickled into parts of my life where I was afraid to just express how I felt about anything, whether it was the pain I was feeling from school, right? Or just my every day-to-day routine of being a child and trying to figure out the world. If I couldn't express my passion for Sonic, how could I express my passion for anything else? If I got to downplay what I love, then what's the point of loving this series? I told this story once, but I remember when I was reading the game manuals for like Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog. I remember when I was reading the game manuals during the reading time in class, I remember people were like, why are you reading a game manual? You know, some people were reading Harry Potter or Magic Tree House, or they were reading something else that seemed normal at the time. But here I was reading a game manual and I was getting teased for it. Haha, Breck likes Sonic. Haha, he's a nerd. Sonic is terrible. I'm like, bro, what the heck? Like, genuinely, what the heck? I'm a kid, right? I love this series, but I had nobody to talk about it with. I didn't get on the internet until about 2008. And even then, I wasn't really talking with people about Sonic. I was just watching YouTube videos that related to Sonic. Fan animations, the Nozzle Unleashed stuff, and, you know, gameplay reviews of Sonic games and gameplay footage of Sonic games, waiting to play the next one that was coming out. But I couldn't be excited for it sometimes because I didn't have nobody to talk to. I didn't have an outlet to express my passion for other than sit to myself, play my favorite Sonic game in isolation. As a byproduct of that, when I turned like 12 or 13, you know, I started getting into first-person shooters. I started getting into Call of Duty, mature games, because I felt like, well, most of the friends that I made in middle school are now playing other games that aren't Sonic. So let me go in and join the crowd because it seems like nobody likes Sonic no more. So I left the franchise simply because I was peer pressured into not liking Sonic. So throughout the early 2010s, I missed out on games like Sonic Colors. I missed out on Sonic Generations. I missed out on Sonic Lost World. Regardless of the opinion on Lost World or any of these Sonic games, I missed out on it. I missed out on the conversations. I don't even think I indulged in anything of Sonic during those early 2010s. And I don't regret it because I had a lot of fun playing Call of Duty with my homies, but the problem is that I stopped caring about the thing that raised me. I stopped caring about it. I was in a position where I'm like, the franchise that raised me as a kid, the franchise that taught me everything I knew up to that point, because I didn't know anything else. I felt like I neglected it because I was too afraid to embrace it out of public perception. People's opinions got into my head and I let that happen. But I can't blame myself because I was a child. How can I blame myself for not embracing my own opinions if I wasn't even given the chance or had the opportunity to meet people who shared my opinions? It was impossible. So I'm not surprised that I didn't interact with the Sonic community at the time. I wasn't really a fan of Sonic no more during the 2010s up until 2017 when I played Sonic Generations for the first time and then played Sonic Mania. Those two games got me back into the franchise and I was happy. Regardless of how Sonic Forces turned out, I was happy to be back within the community. I got back into the community watching YouTubers like Premier to Remy and Twip. If anybody remembers Twip, I'm pretty sure some people do. Getting back within that community and then getting into Sam Procrastinates at the time when he just started making content. I was back in the scene. I was back and what was really great about it is that now I found people that were similar to my age at the time who were making videos about my favorite series that raised me. I didn't feel like I was alone anymore. I felt like now I'm at a point where I can say I am a Sonic fan. I don't care if IGN was saying Sonic was never good. I don't care about back then in the early 2010s when Game Grumps were dumping on Sonic. I don't care, because what I do care about is I was able to tell myself that I am a Sonic fan and I am proud of it. I'm a fan of everything, the comic books, the TV shows, the games. I had a few figurines at the time. I had everything about Sonic I loved. Like I said, I talked about how Sonic saved my unstable childhood, but I never talked about how much I neglected Sonic because I let public perception get into my head. I let outsiders dictate my love for the series, how often I interact with the series, what I should be playing versus what I shouldn't be playing. Hop on Call of Duty, hop on whatever game instead of playing Sonic games. Why do you like Sonic at 18 years old, 19 years old? I'm 27 now and I still love Sonic the same way I did when I was 4. Why? Because I'm confident in myself to be able to understand that, hey, I love this franchise. I love Sonic to death. I've never said that before until now. Crazy, right? I love this franchise to death. I love it. And I'm so glad that this franchise is in a position where it is doing so much better financially, regardless of the general consensus of Sonic Frontiers or Shadow Generations or any other recent Sonic game. The movies and the state of the franchise is statistically in a way better spot. So now I can say I am not ashamed no more of being a Sonic fan. I used to be. It was hard to justify why I loved Sonic because the quality didn't match the passion. The Sonic games that were coming out were pretty bad. And because of that, it was hard to justify why I loved the series. So I felt like I couldn't be a Sonic fan no more. But it goes deeper than the games, man. Sonic is a culture. It's a culture. It's the people. It's the creatives, the passionate fans, the diehards who express their love for this series no matter what people say. You know, I think overall, that's where my love for the series comes from. It's not just the games. It was never just the games at one point anymore. It was all the videos I watched on YouTube, all of the community members that I interacted with when I was growing up. This franchise is a culture to me, and I know it's a culture to many of you guys. And if I want to give any sort of advice to anyone who's younger than me, who's maybe like a teenager or some adolescent or late teens, don't let anybody tell you what you can or can't enjoy. If you love Sonic, man, just say it out loud. I love Sonic to death. I love this franchise. This franchise has helped me through thick and thin, right? It's pulled me out of my dark times. It's saved me. It's keeping me going. I'm able to express myself. I learned how to draw because of Sonic. I learned game design because of Sonic. I've learned how to communicate through life because of Sonic. I used to be afraid to say that and I used to think it was corny, but not anymore, dude. I'm 27, man. And I do not care. I'm almost 30 years old, but I am a diehard Sonic fan, probably a little more than I should. A little more than I should be, but that's where I'm at, man. And I think it was hard, it was hard. And I feel like now is a great time to be a Sonic fan. It was hard trying to convince myself that, hey, it's okay, dude. It's okay to like this series. Don't let anyone tell you not to. And it was hard to convince myself, even if the games didn't match the the quality that, you know, justified being a fan of the series. The comics were still being good. The fandom was still passionate and big, and one of the most passionate communities that exist on the internet, for better or for worse. But man, I understand how it is to feel shame that you love this franchise through all the ups and downs, through all the bad games, the good games, the bad, you know, the bad general press, the good general press we got now. It's okay to say you love Sonic no matter what season we're in. Dark times have been around multiple times throughout the years, but I feel like now it's a great time to say that I'm not ashamed of being a Sonic fan anymore. And to anybody else who feels the same way, don't be ashamed. It's okay. This is a really great franchise with really great people, and I'm glad to be here, not just as a up and coming content creator, but as a fan first and foremost, as a fan of this series, as a fan of being raised by such a passionate, loving series and getting to know such a passionate community. So to Sonic, thank you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for giving me so much joy when I didn't have said joy. And I gotta thank God for putting Sonic into my life, because without him, like I said in previous videos, I don't think I would be here, literally and figuratively. So thank you, Sonic. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for stepping into the break room and hearing me talk for a little bit. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you want more off-the-cuff videos like this. This is from the heart, and I'm glad to just talk about something that I'm very passionate about. This is Breck. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless, and take care.